Hello everyone, my name is Trogdor and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This episode of... Is this even an episode? It's like a part of a series, but it's like, I don't know, kind of a confusing... Okay, so this week of the NSTL, I'm bringing you a team builder the same way that I always have. This time I'm going up against... I'm going up against the current top team of the Diamond Division Conference. I got confused by that. My guy D-Train explained it to me in a comment, but I still don't get it. Anyway, I'm going against the top team, numero uno. He's like 7-1. He's got like one loss, and yeah, I previously went against an undefeated team. You may recall versus DFP that I ended up winning that game, and since then, unfortunately, he's lost his title as number one. So I'm going to be going over the team that I'm bringing here. His roster is really spooky. He's got Tapu Koko and Alolan Raichu right off the bat. He's got Skarmory and Melodic, which are just like, they're going to be super gross to deal with. He's got Mamoswine, which is just like the most difficult thing to switch into for someone who can play well with it. I've got Mamoswine in another league, and I can't play well with it at all. Anyway, yeah, I haven't been uploading that league. I'm sorry about that, guys. What else has he got? He's got some things like Skuntank. He's got things like Meganium. He's got a Bufalon. He's got Blacephalon, which, did I remember to upload my Battle vs. Gray? I'm pretty sure I did. You may recall there was a Haunter that just spammed Shadow Balls that I wasn't able to switch into. So that Blacephalon is, just going to be spamming Shadow Balls all over my face. He's got Mega Gallade, which is, for some reason right now, one of the spookiest things in the draft tier format just at all. So my opponent has a very stacked team. I apologize if I'm going off this on memory just because I've been spending so much time prepping for this team. So if I missed one of the mons, whatever. Anyways, let's go over what I'm bringing, why I'm bringing, right before I get on into this match. So first of all, Hariyama, because when there's a Mamoswine, you need to check to the Mamoswine. So this is my check to the Mamoswine. I am running a Guts Hariyama with Flame Orb just to do as much damage as possible. I am running max attack with mixed physical defense. I have Bullet Punch for priority against things like the Mamoswine and the Tapu Koko. I have Facade just because with Guts and the Flame Orb, it is going to be doing massive damage. I have Close Combat because damage, and I have Knockoff for things like the Raichu, the Blacephalon. Dark is just a pretty decent way to spam against certain threats of his. So Hariyama is a primary check to Mamoswine. I also have some priority with it. It's overall going to be good for me this game. It was the first mon that I locked, and yeah, basically I need a way to deal with Mamoswine. And it does just a lot of damage. It's a status absorber, it's a thick boy, and close combat, except for Blacephalon, I don't really think that he wants to switch anything in onto this. So there's that. Next up, I've got King Kitan, the Mega Manectric. That is supposed to be a dude, because King Kitan, he's King Kitan. Running the Intimidate just because mostly, well, I have to, obviously, but it's going to be super handy for Mamoswine and Gallade, his super scary physical offense. I have Thunderbolt for Skarmory and Melodic. I believe if they're both physically defensive, which in all honesty they should be, Thunderbolt is just going to OHKO both of them, or at very least bring Skarmory down to sturdy. And aside from his Mamoswine, I can just freely spam Volt switches. Flamethrower does hit Mamoswine quite hard, although it does have thick fat, so I'm not guaranteed an OHKO with this, but it's really good damage. I'm going with 100% accurate move because I do not want to be missing overheats, so it's just a good move to use versus him. I don't necessarily need to bring a hidden power versus this team. There's I don't believe there are any 4x weaknesses. I'm probably going to eat my words on this once I go back and actually look at his roster, but in the end, Signal Beam was the better bring for me. I'm going max special attack modest with enough speed to outspeed Gallade, because his Gallade can like, you know, has the maximum speed that it can have. Can't be choice in any respect. And any of his potential Scarfers, I believe, can outspeed like max Manectric. So it's like I'd rather just go for more special attack and like just enough, like a little bit more bulk. And yeah, aside from like what was I just talking about? Gallade. Aside from Gallade and Blacephalon and the Raichu, but Raichu and Gallade are the same speed tier, although Raichu will get the big boy speed boost in the electric terrain, which nothing's going to be outspeeding that anyway. So I see no reason to go with any other speed besides this one, and that is Manectric. I'm going to be doing lots of Thunderbolting, Thunderbolts and Lightning, very, very frightening, etc. I'm going to skip Zygarde for now and talk about my Tapu Bulu. I am bringing a very annoying set versus my opponent. I'm doing a sub Leech Seed set just because his only switch into a grass move is Meganium. And at first I thought like, ha ha ha, Meganium, why would he bring that? Then the more I thought about it, the more I realized like, oh, he might actually bring Meganium just to stop my Zygarde and Tapu Bulu, because bulky grass types are fantastic for that. I mentioned in my last week that I saw my opponent bringing the Whimsicott, which he ended up not bringing. So possibly after mentioning that, my opponents may realize like, oh, I need a bulky grass type to be able to switch into Zygarde and Bulu. I have the Horn Leech to get HP back, Protect just to get more. If I'm still behind a sub and I've got a Leech Seed up, that'll do damage to me. No, not damage to me. It'll get me more HP back from both the Leech Seed and the grassy terrain. I'm opting for a Yache Berry just for scenarios where he thinks he's gonna like get rid of like my Bulu, like, but in reality I live with enough to go for another sub, and then I get like a Horn Leech or Leech Seed, mostly for like Mamoswine. Like Mamoswine won't be able to KO me with Icicle Crash, and then from there I go with the Horn Leech and Oko. I'm running the speed that I'm running just for a slightly invested Milotic so that I can outspeed, go for a sub, and he won't be able to hit me with a Toxic, or potentially just like break my sub with an Ice Beam. And once I see that coverage, I'll know that I can go for a Horn Leech next turn, get a ton of HP back, and continue going for subs and being very annoying. I mentioned Blacephalon early on, and unfortunately my only response to it is sacking something and then bringing in this Cofagrigus. I'm running the Cassib Berry to like be able to take a Shadow Ball, and then from there I either go for a Trick Room or Nasty Plot and Oko with Shadow Ball. I'm running a lot of physical defense and a lot of special attack because this both needs to take a lot of hits and potentially like do Trick Room Sweep. Pain Split because it's the only good option to get recovery back for me, and Nasty Plot just in case he's not bringing something like the Skuntank or Bouffalant, which are his two ghost resists / immunities. So I could potentially get like a small Trick Room Sweep with Cofagrigus while at the same time doing like lots of damage. Skuntank is actually a fantastic bring for my opponent, because not only does it do a lot of damage to my Cofagrigus, which traditionally has been like one of my better walls, it stops Tapu Bulu in its tracks. It can like run Haze for Zygarde, and it completely shuts down Latias. I originally had Latias on my roster, but then as I was making my Cofagrigus set, I realized like, oh, Skuntank is something that stops Cofagrigus. It also stops Latias like hard in its tracks. And I was really iffy about bringing Latias to begin with. I was debating on a couple other mons, and I ended up deciding, yeah, I'm gonna drop Latias. So I ended up dropping that for my Gyarados, which I'm bringing for a couple reasons. I'm bringing Electrium Z with, I ended up going for Thunderbolts, because that does enough damage to Milotic and Skarmory. Even though I've already got my Manectric, when I bring in Gyarados, it's like, oh, Skarmory, easy mode, haha, I get you with the spicy Thunderbolt. I'm running Quiet Nature because my intention with Gyarados, I really don't need to be speedy at all. Like, you know, even though things like the Milotic will be able to outspeed me, maybe get some status on me, but my goal is to like hit hard. And I don't want to sacrifice either my like physical attack or special attack or my defenses, because obviously I've got Intimidate, got that delicious Intimidate core going on, and I've got Sub and Bounce just because I will be able to get some free substitutes. I'm not sure if he would bring Thunder Punch on his Gallade, because he's got his dual stab, he's got knockoff, he's got poison jab, ice punch. There are a lot of moves that he needs to bring for Gallade, depending on what, like, if there's a certain move that's not brought, then there's something that can do a lot of damage to it. Notably, if he forfeits Ice Punch, Zygarde just completely does, like, eats a lot of hits. If he forfeits Poison Jab, Tapu Bulu gets the substitute freely. Well, he's got Ice Punch for both of those, so he might forfeit the Poison Jab, but I'm bringing Yachi Berry, so there's that. What else? Knockoff for Kofagrigus. There is also, like, you know, Zen Headbutt for Hariyama. Or he could forfeit, like, 2 moves and go for the Sword Stance, just for more damage. Okay, yeah, Gyarados, and, you know, Sub and Bounce. If I can get up a sub against Gallade, I go for the Bounce and all that jazz. And once again, I'm bringing Zygarde because, like, I want to actually have this thing do some work. I'm bringing a weakness policy just because he's probably going to be bringing a lot of cheeky HP Ices, and I can live most of those. I cannot live an Icicle Crash from Mamoswine. I can't even live an Icicle Crash from Mamoswine with a Yachi Berry, with the investment that I elected to bring. So I'm just going to go for a weakness policy, especially if it's something like the Coco that goes for an HP Ice and I've got enough to live. Then I, you know, Dance, he goes for HP Ice, and it's like, oh boy, now I'm at +3 and nothing can live in extreme speed. I think Mamoswine takes like 80% from an extreme speed, so it can't like out-prioritize me. So there are a lot of like things that can go right with Zygarde. Outrage if Coco goes down, 1,000 arrows just to hit literally everything. Even Skarmory, that's going to be hilarious. I'm hope my opponent will bring a Shukaberry Skarmory, just because that would be a hilarious thing to see in general. So Zygarde's a potential win con. Bulu's going to be annoying. This is my emergency Blacephalon button. This is my do fast, get speedy, like breakthrough wall core. This is my surprise your Skarmory is dead button. And this is my Mamoswine check. So overall, I think this is a pretty good roster. My initial plan is basically see what he doesn't bring, and based on that, something will be a good lead. For example, if he does not bring the... There's no reason that he wouldn't bring Mamoswine, but if he chooses not to, I'm going to lead with Manectric and just Volt Switch freely. If he doesn't bring Meganium, I can bring Tapu Bulu, get up a substitute, and start being annoying with Leech Seed. I'm not going to be leading with Zygarde just because I want to keep it safe in the back. Depending on if Blacephalon is there, I can just get free close combats with Hariyama. So there are a few good favorable matchups for me going right into the battle. And again, there are a lot of scary threats on my opponent's team, but the fact is he can only bring 6 total Mons, and whatever he doesn't bring, I can capitalize on that. And I actually think that I have a decent matchup. So I am, of course, recording this before I battle, as I've always done, just because before I battle, I like to go over in my head what I'm bringing, and I've got that fresh. So this battle will be commencing later this morning. This will normally I have my team builders up by this time, but this will obviously go up later just because we had to battle later. I'd say it's a pretty busy week, considering like it was the busiest day. It was the busiest week for me at work, but I still got fired, so that was kind of weird for me. But I'll talk about more of that in an update video that I will do later, even though I've never really done an update video. So in the meantime, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this battle. Please stay tuned for... Wait, I said I hope you enjoyed this battle. I meant to say I hope you enjoyed this team builder, because the battle is coming later. Wow, I need to collect my words. Hopefully my brain is a little bit more collected later for the battle. So stay tuned for that. That will be coming up tomorrow. And until then, thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe if you are new to the channel and want to watch more, or just interested in Pokemon in general. Also toss a like on this video and leave a comment what you thought, all that jazz. and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.